Yeah, this one was a little bit of an upset right here. I mean, because I was all about to bury Cleveland, weren't you?
Yeah, maybe Baker heard your comments about the pregame.
I think he's too busy listening to Rex Ryan.
I was really shocked. I mean, Baltimore now lost 2 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
40-25. There's no easy way to say it. That's just a beatdown.
Yeah.
I mean, what stood out to you during the game?
That they finally got the running game going. I mean, Nick Chubb, 20 carries, 165 yards, 3 TDs, but, greatly aided by that 88-yard little scamper he had in the fourth quarter there. But, yeah, Baker didn't play that bad. He 20 of 30 for 342 yards, 1 pick, 1 touchdown. It was a high scoring affair. They scored 65 points. Cleveland jumped out on them, 7-0 with Ricky Seals-Jones, 9-yard pass from Baker. Then Miles Boykin for the Ravens had a 9-yard pass from Lamar Jackson. Then in the third quarter, Nick Chubb had a 14-yard run. Then Nick Chubb had a 2-yard run. Then Mark Andrews had his 8-yard touchdown pass from Lamar Jackson. Then here we go, Nick Chubb, 88 yards, and then field goal. Then Dontrell Hilliard, 1-yard run. So this was a beatdown. This was a statement, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess these guys got serious and quit reading their own headlines and started trying to play some physical football. The Ravens actually have more first downs. The time of possession was pretty even. The turnovers, that hurt Baltimore. They had 3 of them. Penalties, I mean, Baltimore played clean football. Only had 3 penalties. The Browns sloppy with 6 penalties. The rushing yards, 6.7 for Cleveland. And that's greatly skewed because of the 88-yard run.
Yeah.
So that skewed that yards per carry. But they ran the ball well too for the Ravens. I mean, they had 173 yards rushing. They were averaging 6 yards a carry without that 88-yard run. I mean, Mark Ingram, he's carrying the mail. He looks as good as ever.
I mean, look at that division now, 2-2.
Yeah.
And then you look at Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. They haven't played yet, but both of them playing tonight. They're 0-3. So all of a sudden, that division just kind of got all interesting.
Yeah, one of those teams would be 1-3 tonight, and somebody would be sitting in the basement 0-4,
right,
looking up.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's just that division is just very interesting now.
Well, I mean, it's all there to be had. I mean, 2-game lead, 1-game lead after tonight. So yeah, it's all right there for the taking. Just who's going to play consistently. Baltimore, boy, we thought they were world beaters, but they seem to come back to earth. The last 2 weeks.
They can't see a loss, and now you lose in a division game with Cleveland.
Yeah, you just don't know how much of that was a hangover from the Kansas City thing. But Cleveland, hey, hats off to them. I mean, they come out there and put it on them. I mean, they jumped on them quick.
So the next thing we're going to talk about is Carolina Panthers traveling to Houston. Carolina traveling to Houston, I really predicted Houston to win this, but, Carolina 2-0 without Cam Newton.
Yeah, I mean, like I told you, man, that it opens up their playbook a lot more to. I mean, just look at this stat right here: passing first downs. Panthers had 15. Texans only had 7. I mean, Kyle Allen, he's staying within himself. He really is. They were 24-34 for 203 yards. I mean, man, Watson, man, he is just under duress. He got sacked 6 times again. I mean, that offensive line is horrible. Even with the, trading with Miami to get get the big tackle. It's not good. The rushing yards, Panthers had 94 yards. Houston did have 136. But it's just not enough. You're going to have to be able to pass the ball. The fumbles, Panthers had 3 fumbles. 3 turnovers, 3 fumbles, and Texans only had 1 interception and 1 fumble. The drives were pretty much even. The yards per play, 4.6 to 4.3. It's third down efficiency, 7 of 14. So the Panthers were 50%, and Houston was 4 of 11. So they're pretty woeful right there. Man, I don't know about Watson. He's getting stuck a lot. Those guys are popping him. He was 21 of 33 for 160 yards. Carlos Hyde, 12 carries, 58 yards. Hopkins only had 5 receptions for 41 yards. How are they stopping that guy? Well, they're good. That's how they stopped him. McCaffrey, 27 carries, 93 yards, 1 TD. Kyle Allen, 24 34, 232 yards, no touchdowns, but more importantly, no picks. Then McCaffrey was leading receiver with 10 receptions for 86 yards. They come out and kicked the field goal first, got ahead of them. Then Houston came back with the field goal, and McCaffrey had a 3-yard run. It was 10-3. Then Watson had a 1-yard run, and then in the fourth quarter, it was Houston. It was the Panthers' 2 field goals. But you just got to say to yourself, man, what is this kid cannot. Talking about Watson, he cannot continue to get hit like that. That we talked about that after the first preseason game when they played the Cowboys. We're like, man, this line, I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. But this kid is he averaging about 5 or 6 sacks a game? He is getting destroyed.
He didn't get sacked so much. Not this game, the last game. I don't think he got many sacked once, but to get sacked 6 times or whatever,
he's averaging like that. He's averaging like 4 or 5 sacks a game. They're just. You're not going to stay healthy. And, he got hurt last year. And if you don't protect him, you're going to have to do some rollouts. Because he is just I know he holds the ball a long time, but come on, man. You got to protect him better than that. They're underachieving as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, yeah.
But Kyle Allen, man, there's part of the story right there. You seen that J.J. Watt broke free, tried to tear his head off. He just ducked under it and come up and completed the pass. I'm like, okay. That have the wherewithal to get out of that. He said he didn't even know that was J.J. Watt. He just saw a guy come free.
You look at this division for the Carolina division. You got the Falcons 1-3 now, and then you have Tampa Bay now. They're 2-2 because of what happened yesterday. Panthers are 2-2, and then Saints 3-1.
Tough division. We said going into that, we said that was one of the toughest divisions in football going into the season because you had 3 teams there could make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And they still may.
Yep. Well, the other game is Tampa Bay traveling to Los Angeles, and this was totally, for me, was a shocker.
Yeah, it was. Total upset.
The upset to me is Tampa Bay traveling to Los Angeles playing the Rams, and you would think that the Rams would win this, but
90 points scored between both of them.
And you had more fight in the stands than in the field. Warren Sapp posted a picture on Instagram about a Rams fan and a Tampa Bay fan going at it. To give up 55 points, and still Tampa Bay gave up 40.
Yeah.
95 points.
Well, the Tampa got up on them 21-0.
Yeah.
They were on them quick. Boy, 3 touchdowns on them. And, Jared Goff threw the ball 68 times for 517 yards, but only 2 touchdowns. He had 3 picks. Jameis Winston was pretty efficient, 28 of 41, 385 yards, 4 TDs, and only 1 pick. Todd Gurley, they just stuffed him. 5 carries, 16 yards. Ronald Jones, 19 carries for 70 yards and touchdown. But
How do you think Jared Goff's hand feels for throwing that many balls
Right?
in one game? I mean,
pretty much held Cooper Kupp in check. He had that 129-yard pass from Goff for his touchdown, but this was a shocker. I mean, they come out and got on them fast, man.
Mm-hmm.
And that game got away from the Rams were playing catch up the whole game pretty much. Rams had 6 first downs from penalties, so their third down efficiency, they were 4 of 11.
And think about this now: the only undefeated team left in NFC is the Niners.
Yep,
and they didn't play this week.
They didn't play.
So,
but the passing yards, both of them lit up at 490 to 376. The yards per pass, I mean, Tampa was going long, man. They were averaging 8.7 yards a pass. They only had 2 sacks, both teams. The penalties, just horrendous. Tampa had 12 penalties for 99 yards, and the Rams had 13 penalties for 106 yards. But, the Rams, part of the story, the Rams had those 4 turnovers, 3 picks and 1 interception. So it was just
not good.
It was not good. I mean, they just didn't look in sync.
Mm-hmm.
But, a lot of that has to do with, Tampa Bay and their scheme coming out there. And Jameis had a great day for him because, like we said earlier, if he's not going to make it with Bruce Arians as his quarterback, he's not going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he is the quarterback whisperer. So he's getting Jameis to play at the highest level he's played at in a while. So, they're going to have to think twice about, whether they want to keep him or not. But this was an exciting game, big plays, I love watching those games out there on the West Coast like that. When it's all dark here and it's still sunshiny and nice and pretty out there. But yeah, this one was a whooping.
And the next game, guys, Seattle Seahawks traveling to Arizona, and it is what it was in this game. You got Seattle 2-1 traveling to Arizona, 2-1.
Going to the desert.
Yep. And Seattle pulling off 27-10. Jim, what stood out to you?
It was a little closer than I thought it would be. They got on them 10 to nothing, and then before the Cardinals ever got a field goal, then they got a 9-yard pass to go up 17-3. Then another field goal and pretty much a Kyler Murray 9-yard run brought it to 20-10. Then they had a late touchdown with 2 minutes left to seal it 27-10. But this was a tough. I mean, they had to hang in there. The Seahawks had to hang. I mean, they didn't blow this boys off the field like they thought they were going to. I mean, Russell Wilson, he had 240 yards passing.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like what you thought it was. He was just going to come out there and just go crazy on them like he normally does. He just penalties. Both teams had 7 penalties. The third down efficiency, both teams were lackluster. 4 of 10 as opposed to 3 of 9 for the Cardinals. Rushing or yards per play, 5.8, 5.4 in Seattle's favor. Yards per pass, 7 to 5.7. The sacks, both teams gave up 4 sacks, and both teams had 115 yards rushing. So it was come down to the 2. The Seahawks were 2 of 4 in the red zone, but this one was just a nondescript.
Mm-hmm.
Way closer than it should have been. Jadeveon Clowney, had his big touchdown there in the second quarter, so that they needed that touchdown to give them some breathing room. But this Cardinals are just bad. They just don't have a lot of a talent.
Yeah,
I mean, you just can't pin it all on a rookie quarterback when you have nothing to go with him.